TD, you mentioned your former teammate and Super Bowl, co-Super Bowl champion, John Elway, and how he moved out of that GM role and now he's the president. And I think he's revered, obviously, because his playing days. And to be honest with you, if you look at his draft status and the guys that he's brought in, it's been a lot of Pro Bowlers. It's not like he's drafted poorly. But is there an impatience growing with John Elway? Is there come on, it's about time. We have a good defense, or we think we have a good defense. Why are we underperforming? Has there been an impatience, and is that why he ultimately decided to shift his responsibilities?
That I don't know from his perspective whether he's feeling it or not. But yeah, there are some fans out there who are, I guess, spoiled, and want us to win championships every year. He did bring a Super Bowl. He went and got Peyton Manning and was able to bring the Broncos home a third championship. And you would think, based off that would give you a long runway to having some years where people don't kind of scrutinize every move you make. But I think John understands this. And as a quarterback, he knew this too. Man, it's about winning, and that's the bottom line. And if you don't win, then no matter who you are, people are going to just either turn on you or start to question what you're doing. That's life. He understands that. That's in the coaching profession. That's in being an executive. As players, we understand that. We don't win, you're not going to be here. So, but I also think that I remember talking to John one game. It was like the Chargers game. Not this year. It was like many years ago. And I can see on his face how it's tough for him to be in the booth or be up there watching the team, and you have no ability to change what you're seeing. As a competitor, you want to be able to have an ability to, change the outcome. Well, as a GM, you can't do anything. All you're doing, you're relying on other people to do that. And I remember seeing that. I thought, man, this job is going to be one stressful job for John. And maybe that's where it got to, where it's like, okay, man, it's just kind of taking its toll.
Yeah, but TD, I could be the wise ass here and say, well, you could draft better players, and that
hasn't been the issue though. BT.
Well, no. His decision at the quarterback spot's been bad. I mean, he for one of the greatest.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Because everything else,
draft better quarterbacks. No,
that's
doubt
what I'm
about
saying.
it,
Yeah, I mean, the team has we just mentioned a lot of players that are good offensive players. We know defensively for the most part that had some injuries this year, but defense is good. It's been mystifying, TD, how one of the undeniably greatest quarterbacks of all time has swung and missed as often as he had. I'm not saying that Locke is a complete swing and miss. I'm with you. I'd probably give him one more year, and I do know he's talented. But some of the other guys that they brought in there, woof. I mean, I could have done better, TD. I could have done better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got Paxton Lynch. He was, a 26? I mean, they had really only one first-round quarterback since John's been there, and that was Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
He was 26 overall. Drew Lock was a second-round draft pick. So they haven't really drafted high. They got Chad Kelly, I believe he was a seventh-round pick. So they it wasn't like they were picking top 3, top 4, getting like the cream of the cream of the crop quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I think they had 1 year, I believe they were picking 5th. It might have been 2017 if my memory serves me right. Yeah. When they could have either gotten I think it might have been 18. They got Bradley Chubb, but that year I believe you still had quarterbacks like Josh. I think Josh was in that same draft class.
Yeah, Allen was. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Yeah, and John loved. And I remember all the talk about him loving Josh Allen, and whether that could have been a play, maybe moving up getting him could have been something that was might have been realistic, but. I think another thing too is like when you're like Michael Jordan. I think you're a really great player. Sometimes you assume people can do what you can do.
Yep.
And you kind of bring them in thinking, all right, you should be able to do this, man. I should be able to teach you how to do what I can do. And a lot of times that's not the case.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's shift over to the Super Bowl, TD. This is obviously an enormous game. You played in it, and you know it, and you know what it takes to win it. But these two teams feel like they're both perfectly situated to be Super Bowl champion. And it's hard to pick a side because both stories are great, and Tom is Tom, and that roster is built out fantastically. Obviously, the Chiefs are defending champions at this point and have one of the best quarterbacks, growing young quarterbacks in the NFL. How do you handicap this one? Like, who do you see as having an advantage, if there is one?
I'm struggling. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, me too. I'm biased because I love Bruce Arians, but I'm struggling as well from an unbiased standpoint.
It's almost like when you can look at Kansas City and say, all right, I don't see anybody beating them. You start right there, and you say, wait a minute, but the Bucs, man, this is a team that they've already run the gauntlet already. They've already went to Washington. They've already went to New Orleans. They went to Green Bay. They have a championship caliber defense that can get the job done. Turn the ball over, I believe, 7 or 8 times in this postseason alone.
Yep.
You say all that stuff. They got receivers. They've got it all. Running back. And then, by the way, they have the guy, the guy's with us 10 Super Bowls back there, steering the ship. So how do you go against that? So it's hard, man. It's tough, and I'm struggling with this. And I think my early prediction, I have the right to change it, so don't hold me to anything I say right here. We got you. It's early in the week, and my early prediction was KC 38, Tampa 36.
Ooh, that would be fun.
You were tight.
I feel good. I feel good about that prediction, but. Again, I have the right that's in small print. I have the right to change my opinion.
Well, TD, you might want to because I'm hearing the weather's going to be pretty inclement. It's supposed to be pretty wet on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I would agree if it's a dry track, 38, 36, 30-something sounds about right. But if it's wet and it's supposed to be really wet, then we have to downgrade the points. And let me ask you this, T. If it is really wet, does that change? Would you maybe then go to the Bucs? Would you change who you actually think would win the game?
Ooh, that's a great question. It seems like the Bucs offense is more suited for the sloppy conditions with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones and their offensive line, Tristan Wirfs and Jonathan Smith that could change some things because that obviously a fast team struggles when you talk about slick conditions.
Yes.
And that's the one thing you can count on them. You're when you took the Rams off the turf, you put the Rams on that's the old greatest show on turf. You take them off that field turf and put them on some grass. Make the grass a little slick. You might have a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's something there. Yeah.
Listen, T, always good having you on. Best of luck with the companies and doing the right thing and redistributing some of the funds for the areas that you acknowledged. Awesome stuff. Hall of Famer Terrell Davis. Good stuff, buddy. Thank you very much, T.
Appreciate you, T.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, man.
There you go. 3 baldies. 3 good-looking baldies right there. Yeah, 2 jacked baldies and 1 whatever I am. I don't know what I am.
You're getting there. That's Jim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, getting there. I'm knocking on the door, sure. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.